So it's time to preview and predict Rich Swann versus Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. Of course, Swann the champion, Neville the challenger. Neville new to the Cruiserweights division, but since he's been on the Cruiserweights division and since he's had that heel turn, he has looked like a dominant force that ultimately looks unbeatable. And I think that will stay the same at the Royal Rumble, and we will get another title change, that being Neville becoming the new champion of the Cruiserweights and the king of the Cruiserweight division, as Neville so rightly says. And maybe we won't see a red arrow, but I can imagine us seeing his new finishing submission being used. This story, look, the Cruiserweight division has been largely a complete letdown. I was so looking forward to it when it was announced post-brand split. You know, I thought this is going to be great. This is really going to give Raw that unique feel. But it's been booked very, very badly. The only positive thing from it has been this recent Neville resurgence and the way he's reinvented himself and rejuvenated his career in the Cruiserweight division. And hopefully that continues with a win against Rich Swann, who I think has been a decent champion, but nothing too special. The story's been okay. 3 out of 5 stars for me. At times it's been very, very good, but just because I'm not really invested in the Cruiserweights as a division, of course this is never going to be a 5 out of 5 star feud. This match could be very, very good if given time. That's a big thing with Cruiserweights. I think they would be entertaining, they would be intriguing if they were given the time on Raw. Then that might intrigue me enough to actually even watch 205 Live, which I haven't even watched yet. I don't watch 205 Live. Number one, I don't have the time, and number two, I'm just not really interested enough in the Cruiserweight division. But I am interested in Rich Swann and versus Neville, and I'm also interested in Neville as well. And as I say, as a fellow Brit, it's nice to see, or it'd be nice to see him with a championship. I think he thoroughly deserves it. An amazing in-ring competitor, and it's a shame they didn't use him properly while he was in the main roster, in the main sort of title push and that. And it is a shame, it is a crying shame, but who knows, maybe he can go back there, maybe in a year or so's time, and get to where he deserves. Because I do believe Neville has the capability of being a main event caliber superstar, if, you know, booked correctly, and if given the time to shine. Because when Neville really excels is in the ring. But what he's showing with this heel side to him, he's also not a bad talker, and he's also not a bad character, and he's a very, very good heel. I think most people in the crowd would be rooting for Neville, if I'm honest. Not that Rich Swann's a nasty guy or a bad face. It's just the fact that people like Neville. They like him as a heel. They like the fact that this is clicked. And yeah, I think they're going to want to see him the champ. I really do. And hopefully what we can see after the Royal Rumble and on the road to WrestleMania is the Cruiserweight division being booked the way it should have been booked from the start. Given time on Raw, given meaningful storylines, building up the superstars, you know, us actually developing, well, sorry, not us developing characters, WWE developing the characters in the Cruiserweight division and making us care about watching the Cruiserweights. Hopefully that happens, and I think if Rich Swann and Neville put on a stunning match, which I think they've got the ability to do, again, I give this about a 20% chance of stealing the show, then I genuinely believe that, yeah, that this could be the start for the Cruiserweights really developing into a decent division that we know it can be. So for me, the winner of Rich Swann and Neville is comfortably Neville.